Our first visit was to Notre Dame Cathedral. It was a short train ride from where we were staying. When you first get there, it's a little intimidating. There's lines that's wrapped around almost the whole place, but unbelievably, it goes really quick. There's no fee to get inside, and after the fire a couple of years ago, on the inside it looks like it's 100% complete. They're still working on some stuff outside, but it's quite the sight. The Arch of Triomphe is pretty impressive. We did not know that you could go underneath the road there and get to the other side, so we didn't do it. But I sure hate to drive around that thing. It's crazy there. Like old cathedrals and stained glass windows, you must go to Sainte-Chapelle. If you plan on coming here, get your tickets online. They are time tickets, and they're not very flexible. You can wait in line, but it's a long wait to buy tickets there. It is pretty impressive in there. But unlike Notre Dame, they did charge a fee. I think it was 20 euros. The problem is you stand in line for a while and you maybe get 10-15 minutes inside, and it's pretty crowded, but worth the trip. The Eiffel Tower is something to see in person. It's pretty impressive. It's really neat at night when they do this dancing light show. We actually took a train down one evening to go see that. It started raining and it started pouring, so we had to get under some trees for cover. Luckily, it ended after about 20 minutes and we were able to see the light show. We got to Paris one day after the Louvre was robbed. We did get tickets to go to the Louvre. I had no idea that it was this giant mall inside before you get into the museum itself. And of course, everyone wants to go see the Mona Lisa first, so we did too. And Jeannie got this unobstructed shot because she pushed through the crowd. The amazing thing is that the Mona Lisa was never finished, as this illustration shows. Saw the Greek and Roman sculptures. Most of them were based on bronze and they made them plaster. And the place is huge. We were there probably a little over 2 hours and we didn't even see a tenth of it. It is really a neat place. Absolutely see it if you're going to Paris. Let's talk about the food in Paris. We had this little place around the corner from us, Pop Ox Fournet. And oh my God, the food was fabulous. It was like if you were in someone's French kitchen. They brought you this out in the little pots that they cooked it in. You would sit at tables with other people, like family style. It was awesome. And yes, that is the real French onion soup. And when it comes to pastries and bread, Paris is second to none. Their baguettes are magnificent, the croissants, and all those desserts. Jeannie couldn't get enough of these raspberry tart things. And I love the eclairs. I'm not a big crepe fan, but we went to this place that just dealt in pistachio everything. Pistachio candy, pistachio crepes, cakes, you name it, they had pistachio everything. I think Jeannie liked it. I wasn't a big fan. I love pistachios, but not big on the crepes anyway, but it was very unique. It's about a 40-minute train ride from Paris to Versailles. Once you get there, you got another 10 to 15 minutes just to walk up to the palace, which is very impressive. You could go visit the gardens at any time, and what we did first was go to the gardens, even though we had passes to get in there, and they're timed entries, so we had a couple of hours to kill. So you could actually rent a little golf cart and drive around the gardens, which we did. But most of the gardens are very visible right from the palace itself. A big advantage to renting a cart is that you have an audio tour going on as you're driving around, and I believe it's linked to the GPS so it knows exactly where you're at. I think it cost 42 euro for an hour with the golf cart, but it was good enough for us. But if you want to see everything, like if you want to go see Maria Antoinette's guest house or whatever, it's going to be longer because there's lines there to get in, and it'll probably cost you another 42 euro. It'll probably take you at least 2 hours. But we toured everything. The fountains finally came on, which are really lovely. And then we went to our timed tickets. I think it was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we got up to the entrance, and they said, well, they're not letting anybody in. They have electrical problems. So that kind of killed it for the day. So we actually had to take the train back and come back the next morning. I suggest that you do take a tour, because usually they're in the early mornings, which we usually do, but we didn't with Versailles. And we were there late morning, early afternoon, and it was very crowded. The hall of mirrors wasn't bad, but when you got into each room, it got very tight. But it is very beautiful. It's unbelievably huge. I don't think we saw the whole thing, but we probably spent 3 to 4 hours just inside. And if you count the day before, spent about an hour to 2 hours outside. So plan almost the whole day if you're going to visit it, but it's definitely worth it. On our way back from Normandy, we stopped at Mont-Saint-Michel, which is very unique because this castle that sits underneath a church that's not even an island, it's just a rock in the middle of nowhere. Being a medieval castle, there's very limited parking, so they have remote parking lots that have buses that take you back and forth. And being a medieval castle, it comes equipped with a drawbridge, a moat, and everything else. And of course, the very narrow road or pathways are in cobblestone, little slick when they're wet. There are many, many stairways, really neat taverns and pubs, and also restaurants, which we enjoyed some French onion soup the first evening we were there. Did stay one night in there, and on our way to our room there was a adjacent cemetery. This is our view from the room. The room was very nice, very neat, very clean, but very old. It was kind of neat to stay overnight in a medieval castle. One of the main attractions of Mont-Saint-Michel is the Abbey, which is the church on top of the castle. There's many stairs involved, and there is a fee, and I suggest that you take a tour guide, and I've linked in the description all the information about Mont-Saint-Michel and the accommodations if you would like to stay there, and any and all fees that are involved. Our guide was very good, knowledgeable, took us around to many of the rooms, all the architecture, the sculptures, and even has a outside garden, and it has also a really neat model of the whole castle. In the 1200 years that this place existed, has such a vast history. I've linked a very good documentary in the description. After Paris, we rented a car and it was on to Normandy. Thanks for watching.